This is going to be part 2 of building a model car from completely scrap parts. I think I got the idea of how I want to do everything. Just going to use these parts to build a frame, I guess. Try to pull everything apart here. Hopefully I can get some stuff apart. Oh, that's not gonna work. Maybe I'm not gonna be able to. So I might have to use some new styrene. I was trying to avoid using anything new. Trying to use everything completely from a junk car. It's the idea. Sometimes take a knife blade. Let's see if I can cut my finger. Just cut it out of there. Well, you can sure it up. I guess it doesn't really matter as long as I get the majority of it out. So the idea is I'm trying to save as much as I can here. Alright. It's one piece. I need some more of these. But I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull these apart like I wanted to. But really, I need to get the frame together. I mean, I can work on something else real quick, I guess. I'd like to get these leaf springs. I don't know if I'm going to use those leaf springs or not. I wanted to pull this apart, but it might not be happening. I might just be using this for something else. Alright, well, while I think about it, I'm going to glue this in. Actually, I'm going to trim this up. And glue some stuff in, but the plan is I'm just going to fill and I'm going to shape this how I want. That way it flows into the body. And then I'm going to try to figure out. So I kind of might use this frame. I don't know yet. It's not an exact. Nothing is for sure. Trying to build from scratch is kind of testing stuff and trying to figure out what will work. Almost think this frame is too big, so I might cut like the front off and somehow, I don't know yet. I know this is too much frames, too long. I clean these tires up. Well, somewhat. I'd clean it up some more. I don't know if I'm going to paint the rims yet. Let's see. Let's glue. Oh, I want to trim that first. I'm all over the place. I'm just going to snip it back. It really doesn't matter how much this looks right now because it's all going to get covered. I use body filler. And then I'll sand it down and shape it the way I want it. I might try to stiffen all this up or use a thing I got ground up tree and I mix it with glue and it makes it a really strong bond for panels like this because otherwise a lot of times it falls apart. But I don't know, it seems like it's on there pretty well. It might be okay, but I'm definitely going to use it in here. Works pretty good. And then I'm going to fill this, sand it, and I'm going to make this filled. Don't know exactly how I'm going to do this back. I didn't think about that. I made a panel for it, but I might have to make a new panel because it might be longer back here. I don't know. I might make it flow up. It's all part of figuring it out, I guess. Alright, let's get this piece glued in. I shaped this piece earlier. I cut it out of a piece of hood. Like I said, I'm trying to use all scrap parts. I don't want to use anything new. That'll actually work. I actually like this side, how I did this side better. Because I want it to be flat. It's going to be a pain to figure out. So I almost think this needs to be taller for the frame because the seats, I don't have any spare seats. I can use any seats I want. It really doesn't matter. I don't have a seat somewhere. Oh, here's one. But my thought process is I gotta have seats fit here. That one I'm actually pretty close. That actually might work. I mean, it hits the roof, so then it comes down. But what I was gonna do is I want to get this frame as far out as I possibly can, and then I'm gonna build like a pan that sits in between. So like this, and then the pan. Let's see. The pan will sit inside, so I'll bring like this over a little bit and then down. That way, the seats kind of sit a little lower, but the frame will hide it from you seeing inside of it. It's kind of the idea. But I think I actually might use those seats. Glue this piece in. Then I might mix up some body filler and fill some stuff. Honestly, jeez, I'm all over the place. Brain's going a million miles a minute. Oh my, that usually doesn't surprise me. The glue not dry enough. Mumbling, sorry. Not the best on video yet. I haven't made a whole lot of videos. Part 1's not going to be the greatest. It was kind of first time. It's the second time. Alright, that should work. Let's let that dry, I guess, for a second. And then, I don't know how I'm going to figure this frame out. I got one piece, and I was just going to glue this in here, but I gotta figure out my distance. Now I gotta wait for that to dry, which takes forever. It's problematic. I need to figure out what motor I'm gonna use. It's way too long. Maybe I got an idea. What was I thinking? I got a perfectly good idea. We're making a super beefy frame because I'm putting a semi rear end in the back of it. So got these little knobs off here. But actually, I don't know why I didn't think about this in the first place. But when I figure out my distance, what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this I-beam that I had made, and I'm going to glue it in here for the beefiness, and then I'll figure out where the front is, and I cut another section, put it up here, and then that'll get me started on the frame. I need a basis for the body, so I know I want the body to sit, and then I can start building like the pan for it. I also debated about putting this box in the back of it, but I don't really like the way that meshes up. But I was gonna shorten it so it's like this much of a box, because the idea is it's gonna have like a dually back here, and this would be like super short. But the box would kind of sit like this, with those on the outside and the motor there. I also thought about a dual motor. So cut transmission off of a motor and slam them together like this. Actually, kind of like how that works, but it's too high. Looks, sorry. But yeah, something like that in front of each other, and then like a 34 Ford grill of some type in the front. It don't matter what kind of car it is, but it's got to have a grill in the front. Kind of just a hot rod-ish look. That's what I was trying to go for. I guess this is dry enough. It's staying in there, not moving around. Not really. But it's going to have to work for now. Hopefully I can mess with it without it falling apart. If not, I re-glue it, whatever. Alright, let's try to figure out where did I put the axle. Alright, here's my axle. So that's got to be here somewhere. Oh, it's so hard to mock stuff up. Now I got this all apart. I shouldn't have took all this apart yet. Took it apart too early. Dang it. So this has got to go here. So how far? I mean, I guess I can always cut off the back of the rear end, or the back of the chassis if I have to. I just got to figure out how far. I guess I can always mock it up real quick and then trim it. Because this is actually got to sit higher. I'm not going to have it set quite that high, I don't think. I think I'm going to channel the chassis. Because I don't want the body sitting that high. I kind of wanted it to be sitting kind of evenly. Kind of like it's on airbags almost. But it's going to have to honestly be... You're going to see my thought is you're going to see the frame no matter what I do. It's just going to have to be kind of how the build is. I just having a hard time trying to figure out how wide I want the frame and how far back I want it to sit. So I know this is too close because, like I said, I want to be able to get 2 seats in there. So this has got to be as wide as I possibly can get it. Such a pain to try to figure out. I always hate figuring this. I mean, this is what I like doing, so I guess it's part of the fun. I have a hard time finishing my builds because once I figure out all the chopping, not as fun anymore. Something like that. That would honestly probably be about right distance apart. So I guess I can always trim if I have to. It seems pretty darn close to my distance that I want. So I'm just going to mock something up here. Really? There's no way that has to be that far. I know I do want it that far back. I do like where that frame is sitting. Where the tire is kind of back. Ugh. I do kind of like that. I'm just trying to see. I think it's got to come in. It's pretty darn close. I want it to be there. Almost maybe if I flip it. It's just, I can't hold 2 parts at once. Problem here. I don't care about that. Honestly, this needs to be straight back. That's where, okay, I have figured out exactly where I want it. Alright, that actually helped out a lot. So, I almost want it to be this distance for that, because this has to be straight within there, and I think that looks pretty darn straight for where the frame's got to sit, and then this piece has to be to there. I think I can just cut it to there to there. If I have to, I'll put a shim in. That's what I'll do. If I cut it too short. I only got one of these. I can't screw it up. I mean, I can make one, but that's not the idea of the build. It kind of ruins it. It's all junkyard parts. I'd have to figure out a different way. I guess I can make it a little extra long if I have to. Now I don't have my red marker out. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Alright. Jeez. In the package, get in the package. Alright, take this. Hopefully this works. We're gonna have to make 2 of them. Oh, excuse me. Seems about right. Yeah, that's pretty darn close. Guess that's what we're gonna go for. I might have enough extra. Saw. Probably can't see what I'm doing. I'm just cutting this with a jeweler saw real quick. I guess I'm just gonna have to glue it together. See, now I just had it in the perfect spot where I wanted it. See, what a pain. Because these have to be level with each other. This has got to be in a certain spot. I guess it's not that big of a deal. Because that, I want it to sit there. So that. It's got to go on this side, and that one goes on this side. Yo, alright. Making some progress here. And then this. I have other ideas for some stuff, but I kind of want them to sit higher than the, I think I kind of want them to sit higher than the, roof line, the back tires. But I'm not for sure. Something about like that. So honestly, because the axle, I don't think the axle can sit. I think it's got to come in, because I honestly want it to stick a little bit out past the chassis. So I guess I can go off that, just that tire. And then this has got to go in there, kind of like that. And hopefully I can square this up. I want that to be in the back right there. I think that'd be okay. Might move it a little bit farther forward. It's just, it's hard to say with obstacles I'm going to run into where I already placed this. Yeah, because I want it to be as far as back as I possibly can. Given the fact that I'm going to put a pan in between the chassis for the seats to sit. It's not going to be a whole lot of room for 2 seats. I don't think there's going to be enough room. It's gonna be slammed. Maybe if I cut up a bench seat, maybe. I think that's what I might have to go with, is a bench seat in there. I really don't have much of an option. I didn't make this. I didn't do all this chopping. It was something I bought. So I'm just trying to work with what I have here. Maybe I don't have to make that pan so low. Maybe I don't have to do the pan. I don't know yet. I probably should put these seats quite a ways back. So I'm going to have to make my own dashboard. This ain't going to give me enough room. At least these seats. I'm just gonna take them off the tree. Clean this up. Should have cut it off. I don't think it makes much of a difference. Do a pan between there. See, that's the problem. It's going to be wider than what I have to work with. I might have to use a bench seat. I guess we'll go from right here. Let's see. Hopefully I can get the frame close enough to each other. I think that's exactly where we want this. Alright, I'm going to glue it there. And then make another one real quick to copy this one. Hopefully that will work. That's the problem. Is I'm afraid if I glue it in there or cut another one, it's not going to be exactly where I want it. Space-wise. I don't think it was long enough. It's too thick. It's kind of hard to say. I'm not getting it. I might, you know what? To trim this off the bottom. I don't know if that's going to be enough. So I can squeeze the chassis together as tight as possible. About myself. Alright, hopefully that helps. Go back and line this up where I want it. And that, honestly, about there, I think. Yeah, that seems right. I think I'm just going to have to make that work. Should have filed that down. Damn it, I should have. I'm going to actually do this real quick. Hopefully that'll be alright. So we'll have to move this around probably a little bit. I don't know yet exactly how this is gonna work. Find out. See, that's why I need a second one. I'm gonna throw it on the floor. Try doing that. Ouch. Is it really that short? God, that's perfect. But what I'm going to end up having to do, see, that's the problem, is I'm going to have to put that there, and figure out, that was the whole idea. It's got to go forward. I want it to be a little bit behind the firewall, so something to be right there. I'm going to have to shave that back. Alright. Might have a problem here. Should glue this in here. I think that's it. See, I'm doing this all wrong. Oh my god, sorry. I guess I shouldn't be sorry, it's just the way I am. Yeah, I think that's exactly perfect. So that's exactly where I want that. And then I can adjust this one while that dries for a second. And then we can maybe work on the body a little bit. Now, you can't have to just bounce around while I build, because I gotta let shit dry and think about shit. That's why I gotta do it in parts too, because I gotta think about what I gotta do next. Alright, we're gonna shave this, and this is gonna be, what side? I wanted to do that side, right? Yeah, because I want those on the bottom, yeah. And I want it to be on the bottom here. I don't know how far I need to go. It doesn't really matter, because I want to be, oh wow, that actually fits in there. I might not have to do that. You know what? I'm not going to do that, because that actually fits in there really well. I think this is what I need. Let's honestly, let's do it upside down. Alright, that's that. So that's alright, it doesn't really matter on that. If it's in a little bit. Alright, I think I can fill this. Should probably, no, I'm gonna fill that first. So, what I'm gonna do, my body filler out. And then let that dry, and then I'm probably gonna have to end it, because I gotta think about my next steps after I get the chassis, and then I'm gonna try to figure out what motors I'm gonna use. I gotta figure out what front end to use, what front tires to use. I mean, there's a ton to figure out yet. I think I got the base idea of most of it. I don't think I'm gonna use that box. It's just kind of an idea I was floating around in my head. Well, I think the biggest thing here to do is fill. Oh, I got actually a really cool idea. So, what I might be thinking about doing, between the tires in the back here, let's do this. Just something that popped in my head. I think that'd look cool. To do this. Might have to lower that tank. That my tank might be too big. Let's see. I kind of dig that. I like the way that looks. You know, alright, you guys don't want to see it, stare at it forever. But yes, I think that's what I'm going to go for here. Alright, let's get to, got that out. Where is, there's the hardener. I don't know if I want to use that one. That one's pretty toasted. This one ain't the greatest, but I think this will work. Get a little bit of filler. It's probably gonna be too much. Always too much. And then see, I should have done that first, but guess it's whatever. I'm trying to keep things moving. So a little dribble there. Mix this up. That's way too much. It's kind of hard to do too fast. I should be able to get what I need done, but I'm gonna waste a lot. Alright, let's fill this because it's kind of hard enough so damn fast. I might use the rest of this. I do slot car bodies, so I might use the rest on something like that real quick. I make molds out of this stuff for it, so I don't like to waste. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. And then I might just try to do this. I think this is a bad idea. Because I usually mix some stuff up. Like I was saying earlier. To harden it, it makes a better bond. For that. And this is not gonna make it bond very well. So if it comes apart later during sanding it, it's gonna probably be a problem. Dang it, making a mess. Always. This stuff's gonna harden fast though, so. But I think that's gonna look good like that. And then I'm going to use the rest of this stuff on this Hot Wheels for a mold. Oh, man. That's going to be good enough. And then I'm gonna do this. Just trying to use all of it I can, so I'm not wasting. That's gonna have to be built out. So once it starts hardening out, can't do shit with it. Alright, it's gonna have to be good enough. And it is what it is. I use most of it. Be happy with that. Whatever, that can be tossed. I'll have to clean that. And then this might be dry enough to get this in here. But I got the bodies all like that. So, I said it's going to be somewhere in here. It's not going to be dry enough. I'm going to have to just end the video for now. It's super tight in there, which is nice. Oh, that doesn't work. Actually, might actually work. See, I didn't think. See, there's another thing a problem I just thought of. So I knew that was gonna come apart. glue it in there better in a minute. So, that's actually perfect. I like that. So, my other thought about my problem here is when I mount this motor in here, I don't think it's going to be such a big problem. I just want to be as realistic as possible. But I'm going to have to mount that tranny, so I'm going to have to cut something in here for the transmission to sit. It's probably going to be quite a ways back. So, alright, well, until next time, I guess I'm going to do more planning on this to get more parts around that I need. So, I guess until next time.